three generations of Rogers who are actively involved in the trafficking and sale of drugs. Now, I continue to hear over and over this false narrative that they're trying to push all across this country that drugs are low level, non-violent events, okay? Low level, non-violent drugs. Well, I think you'll understand that it's not just a low level, non-violent drug. So, it culminated with a search warrant. These folks aren't new to us. The Rogers family has been around for decades. Now, think about it. Either we began this investigation on November of last year, or we began it 30 years ago. That's right. 37th Street, same area of Inwood, same houses. We have been putting these people in jail and some of them in prison for 3 generations, and they continue to sell drugs. In fact, I'm going to introduce you to at least one of them that we arrested in a major league trafficking wire investigation, wiretap, in 2020 that hasn't even been a trial yet. And I'm going to give you details how we are arresting them once again. But as we go through this, it is important for you to understand that these folks have created death and destruction for many, many families for a very long time. When we did the search warrants, we seized on that particular day 3 pounds of meth, 224 grams of fentanyl. Now, folks, 224 grams of fentanyl is potentially enough to overdose and kill 95,000 people. Did you hear what I said? 95,000 people. We also seized a kilo of cocaine, almost a kilo of MDMA, oxycodone, a 9mm handgun. Imagine a convicted felon with a handgun, right? I mean, that's not anything new to most of you. And a pill press. Where's our pill press? It's supposed to be here. Do we have it someplace? Y'all didn't bring it here? Okay. So I want you to see the pill press or pictures of the pill press. That's right. They are so sophisticated that some of them are pressing the pills themselves. So you can get it either cocaine, they'll make it into crack cocaine, they'll press it into pills, however you want it. It's interesting that we first start off to talk about the patriarch of the family, Odiah. Odiah Rogers is 69 years of age. And as I said before, he started his crime career 30 years ago with an aggravated battery arrest. He, over the years, has accumulated 14 felony arrests, 6 misdemeanor arrests. He's been to prison 1 time, and yes, we served a search warrant at his house, one of the 3 search warrants, where we seized more drugs, and he is still in prison. He's not made bond. Then there's his girlfriend, Teresa Prince. She's 59. That's Odiah's girlfriend. She distributes drugs for Odiah. She didn't think it was any big deal. She went to jail. Now, she has bonded out. She's the only one that has bonded out. Then there's Pop Rogers, Kenneth. Kenneth Rogers is 38 years of age. He's one of the sons of Odiah, and he's kind of now taken over the head of the organization. He's had a crime spree for the last 24 years. His first arrest was in 1999, and it was a simple arrest for shoplifting. He is the one that was arrested as a major trafficker in 2020 when we instituted a wire investigation, or a telephone wiretap as we know them. We arrested him then, and he bonded out. He's not been to trial yet on that 2020 arrest. So in 2023, April, guess what? While he's out on bond, while he has stipulations, we arrest him for possession of cocaine with intent to sell within 1,000 foot of a park. And he's got $21,000 in his pocket. So he's facing major league time for a trafficking case. He makes bond. He continues on his criminal enterprise. And he's already been to prison 4 times. So here's another clear indication. If you don't keep people like Pop Rogers locked up, he's going to be selling drugs to your kids, to your neighbors, to your relatives. And then there's Raphael Rogers, another son of Odiah. When I tell you it's a family affair, I'm not kidding. They're all in business together. Illegal business. 24 years of crime himself. He's 39 years old. And he started out with a simple shoplifting charge. He's amassed 43 felony arrests, 33 misdemeanor arrests. He's been to prison 2 times, and this was the second search warrant served at his house. Raphael is a bad guy. And then there's Tamika Rogers. She's 31. She's the daughter of Odiah. She's got 5 felony arrests, 3 misdemeanors. She's never been to prison. She's currently living with Odiah, where one of the search warrants was served, and she's known to sell drugs. And then there's Dominique Rogers. He's 28, Odiah's son. He's younger than the others. He's got 38 felony arrests, 14 misdemeanor arrests. He's been to prison 1 time. But that's not all. Manatee County currently has him charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder, where things went bad during a narcotics transaction. So not only does he have that occurring, but while he did that, he's also under investigation with us for providing fentanyl that created the death of a 19-year-old girl, a teenager, a victim. Now I want you to think about that for a second, if you will. This guy had 38 previous felony arrests, 14 misdemeanors. He's been to prison. He and his family sell drugs. We are already investigating him and waiting for the lab analysis and the work to come back to tie him to a 19-year-old that overdosed from fentanyl that he or the family sold. And he gets charged with 2 murders in the meantime. Now let me go over this again. Who thinks this is low-level, nonviolent crime? If you perpetuate that position, you're just a nut. You're crazy. You're out of your mind. Drugs are not low-level, nonviolent crimes. They never have been. But we've got people running across this nation, some well-meaning people, suggesting that it's really not that big a deal. It's not violent. It's not. You show me drugs, I'll show you guns and dead people every time. And you know, you may not think it's a big deal. You may think it's a low-level nonviolent event, a low-level nonviolent crime that doesn't need attention until it's your child that's dead. Think about that. Think about if you were the parents of this 19-year-old girl who died from this fentanyl overdose, or if you were the family of these two people that Dominique Rogers shot and killed. Think about that. So the next time anyone, whether on social media or mainstream media, wants to tell you that it's really not all that bad, you can suggest to them, are you a nut? Here's the third generation, Jordan Rogers. He's the grandson of Odiah. He's 21. Up until this search warrant, Jordan only had one previous arrest for fleeing to elude, and that was dropped. So while he's lived in and around this crime spree, this ongoing crime spree for his entire life, he was never at least caught up in it criminally until the search warrant was served and we caught him with a litany of drugs. But if you look at Jordan and his entrance into the drug world and the crime world at his age, and then you overlay it to his parents, to his dad, who was Raphael, and then you overlay it to Odiah, who's his granddad, he's following the same pattern. He's living what he's learned at home his entire life. And that's sad. And he's the one that had the pill press where he was. And we believe he's the one that was pressing the pills into all kinds of drugs. The third generation. So dad, granddad have taught him the business well. I'd like to point out that Teresa was released. I also have some juveniles here. One was charged with a misdemeanor, 2 with felonies. I suggest to you that these juveniles who aren't blood relative that we can determine at this stage of the investigation, but are there living in this environment, that's also the next generation. And when we arrested them and sent them to juvenile, they didn't score out enough to stay in lockup. So the system has helped perpetuate this problem with its lack of attention to the juveniles, because they've already figured out with this arrest, whoa, they're not going to keep me locked up for this. Until one day we do, for a long time, for second-degree murder maybe one day, or fentanyl overdose deaths where you kill someone one day. I've also left out a couple of the other guys. They are part of the trafficking organization, but they're not the family. These guys here, they're trafficking in the drugs, but they're not related by blood. This family affair, this Rogers family affair, has been alive and well for a long time. They've been in and out of jail numerous times, and as I outlined to you, they've been to prison as well. So when's enough enough? When's the system going to say it's time that we take these people out? Now, as a side note, when we served this search warrant, we were assisted by the Lakeland Police Department and the Highlands County Sheriff's Office SWAT teams. Very professional SWAT teams that assisted us because we wanted a SWAT team on each house to keep the violence down. We were able to execute the search warrants. No one was injured. The appropriate people were arrested. And the neighborhood continued to thank us for our work. Now, they're scared of the Rogers. What I've talked about is their criminal arrest and when they've gone to jail. I've not talked about all the intimidation they've done in the neighborhood. I've not talked about one of the very few unsolved homicides we have in this county that's on 40th Street, 3 streets over, that I believe in my heart and soul they got a part of that some way. But do you think anybody's going to talk to us with the Rogers family right there? No, because they're afraid that they may be the next one that's killed. So at the end of the day,
know
know this, that once again we've arrested the Rogers family. This time we've arrested all 3 generations at one time. But the Rogers and everyone else should understand that we're going to continue to arrest you, and arrest you, and arrest you. My narcotics and organized crime folks that work this investigation are simply the very best. And they've done a remarkable amount of work this time in order to do this very complex investigation and bring its culmination together last